What's up, guys? So, this isn't going to be very long. It's just something I was thinking of. That being said, um, so I got a message yesterday from an old friend of mine. I mean, gosh, we used to hang out at. I mean, it was high school. It was high school. So I mean, a solid 20 years ago. But kind of what I wanted to speak on was, even though I feel like in a sense like he was being kind of silly about one of my videos that was like, hey, I always gave you 100%, da da da. Uh, you're 100% right. Um, when I started doing the whole um, like this getting sober podcast idea, this just goes back to these last couple of years. I mean, that's a lot of what I want to talk about, the process of after I got sober. Uh, but I guess I never thought about jumping back into some of the things I did at a younger age, especially at a very young age like that. So part of growing and being more vulnerable with you guys is going to be talking about some of that older stuff as well. So one of those things that I just wanted to touch on was, back when I was drinking, I didn't realize, of course, that I had a problem because I was a lot younger. But one of the problems that I did have was honestly kind of pushing people away, but in a sense of being kind of shitty, honestly. Not necessarily using people. That didn't come until later on in my life. When I started using people, not realizing it, but I feel like um, I definitely would be around people and never think of anything but myself. And that's not a good way to be. It's not a good way to act. It's not a good way to feel. It's not a good way to make other people feel. And then at the same time, with me being that selfish, I also would take and like blow people off after they'd already done things for me. So this person in particular, I remember so many cool stories of me and him hanging out. Um, I mean, it just, I remember coming back from picking up, it was either a transmission, it was some car part, and we ended up putting it in the back of my little sports car, because it was also for a little sports car. So it's not like it was big. But we put it in the back of my little sports car, and I had to work. It's like later on that afternoon. We were like an hour and a half away, and we hopped on the highway and we were floating. I mean, we got back in I think like 40 minutes, and we were cruising like 115, 120 the whole way home, because I had to be at work. I think he had something to do. I mean, I don't even know why we did that, but um, the the guy that I'm talking about has always been one of the most charismatic men I've ever met. It just full of good energy, full of good vibe, and it's super important. So that being said, um, I feel like when you're drinking and when you're thinking about other stuff and when you got other things going on, there's always that wall. There's always that blockade in front of your face that you're like, man, I got this, and this going on. It's selfish. Is the best way to think about it. It's selfish because you're always trying to think about that next time you're going to drink or that next thing that you can get uh, for free or discounted or something. Like there's never a full on push to do what you need to do, because every 4 to 6 hours you're thinking about how you're going to get that buzz again so that you can continue to hold on to it. So it was crazy. I wanted to kind of touch on that, and I wanted to publicly apologize, I guess, to a lot of people in my life that I probably was very selfish to, that I definitely did not think about when I was making decisions, that I definitely was rude to, that I might have said things that I shouldn't have, all because of drinking. Um, being humble and learning how to be a better person is not easy. It takes a lot of self evaluation. It takes a lot of self realization. We'll call that. So, and it it's a lot. So I think that being able to step back and talk about things like this, uh, also, don't get me wrong, I am not 100% talking about at this time in my life trying to jump in and be best friends with all these people again. We No one's got time for that. Things change. What I'm talking about is not continuing to show people the support that they showed me when I was younger. Uh, that same group of people, that same timeline in my life, there was a lot of good guys. I mean, I'm running through names in my head right now, and I feel like if any of them are listening to this, they pretty much know who they are. They all still kind of hang out in the garage. They all are good dudes. Some of them are married now. They all have, I mean, they're just they're they're good guys. And I definitely regret not holding on to those relationships. And I don't want to say taking the path that I took, because if I wouldn't have took the path I took, I wouldn't have my kids. They are 100% my world. But I feel like I probably could have done things to where I could have had my kids and friendships with these people all at the same time. So it's definitely not something that I'm, again, proud of, but it's definitely something that I wanted to bring to light. That message, as soon as I got it, I was like, man, like, he's right. Uh, and it does kind of make me feel like shit. You know, you don't realize how many people you have hurt, or how many people you've um, put in weird positions, until you're out of that bubble and you start to see it. And it sucks when, especially now with social media, because you don't think that people are watching you until they pop up on your stuff. And then you're like, oh, wow, like, you've been seeing all this. Like, you know, and how does that make them feel? You know, put yourself in someone else's shoes. How does it feel when your gut starts to sink? I mean, everyone knows what that's like. Um, that text message, that everything, you know, everyone knows what that's like. You get it, you read it, you see it, you scroll past it, everything. All of a sudden, your entire stomach just sinks. That's not a good feeling. It's not fun. So I just wanted to apologize. It's a short little video. It'll probably get mixed in with other stuff, but that's kind of, in my mind, I'm wanting to do these like free write type videos where this was on my mind. I was thinking about it. I wanted to mention it and make some highlights out of it. And honestly, just let that person know that I'm sorry and I was not the best person. And hopefully, you know, they have forgave me, which would be really cool. Not saying that we're going to be best friends again, but, you know, forgiveness is definitely something that is important. You know, you forgive, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're forgetting. It just means you're okay. So, uh, just wanted to put that out there. All right, later, y'all. And we're back. So, um, at this point, I want to kind of touch on my first Christmas being sober, and what happened with my hands. If you can see a little amputation there. Um, I'm gonna upload some pictures to this to kind of show you guys what it looked like and stuff before and all that. But I'm also gonna get into why it happened, which ultimately was nicotine and tobacco. Being a vasoconstrictor, um, it definitely was not contributing to my blood flow and to my hands. I was working outside, like I said. So because of all that, it ended up turning into, um, I guess you would call it gangrene, but it was just like dead. All the nerves and the ends of my finger were just dead. So, um, but back to my first Christmas sober. So I will say that this was eye opening for me when it comes to how I felt, and just overall the appreciation that I have for some of the people around me. My first Christmas sober, the person I was dating was amazing. They really helped me as far as not only staying sober, but appreciating the hard work that I had put in so far. Um, My family was amazing. Like everything just turned out really well. My kids were with us all the time. Tons of great gifts, tons of great family time. Just in general, such a good experience for the first Christmas. Um, I was still, like I said, smoking weed, but it wasn't like as much. It wasn't until summer of the following year of 2022 that I started smoking really, really heavy. Which funny story, actually, when initially stopped, I initially stopped drinking. I didn't smoke weed for 2 weeks. I quit everything and just kind of seen how I felt. And it wasn't until I jumped back into that, which another funny story after taking 2 weeks off smoking and then jumping back into it. Um, I was so high. Me and the girl I was dating went to CVS and she had to use the bathroom. So she ran in to use the bathroom. And I thought that I was in the car for such a long time that she should have been out by now. So I went in CVS. Mind you, I'm wearing all black, hood was up, walking through CVS, can't find her because she's in the bathroom. But do I remember that? Not even a little bit. So she's walking through the bathroom, or she's walking through, can't find her, go back in the car, sit in the car, text her like, hey, is everything okay? Like, I couldn't find you. Did you get kidnapped? Like, is there something? She's like, I'm in the bathroom. I've only been in here for like 3 minutes. I was like, really? I thought it'd been like hours. So, needless to say, and that was not even smoking that much. I was just taking that time off and then being sober. That was like the first time I felt that. So, completely different. But as far as down to my hands, really, so it was like the tips of my fingers weren't healing. But then I was also working outside, like in the conditions, and it was cold. It was December. So I would get frostbite on the tips of my fingers, and then it would never heal. And the ways that I was trying to make it heal definitely were not helping. Now, yes, I was going to the gym, I was doing cardio, things like that, but it didn't help anything. It really kind of sucked, to be honest with you. And it wasn't until I finally got that partial amputation. Because honestly, right after this, it was January of 2022 when I decided to quit smoking, which I also got sick. Nicotine controls so much of your stomach and just things you got going on that it's crazy for real. But so that was when I got sick from that. But man, I'm looking through pictures right now. So look back at oh my god, Christmas was awesome. The kids got so many good things, which was cool. Makes them happy, of course. Um, there's pictures of my finger. I'll put some of them in here. Keep going through some of these pictures. I still look like crap though. I still had This was almost 6 months down the road, and I still hadn't cut my hair or nothing. Um, I was just letting it roll. Oh man, yeah, I can definitely see where it got stitched up. It took a minute for it to heal. It's crazy when you actually get something like that cut off. Like now, it's completely different. I mean, the exercises they told me to do, things like that. I didn't think that it was going to be a thing until it was. You know what I mean? Oh, Caitlin had her first cheer comp that year. Um, it turned out awesome. Oh, this is when she started doing her flips too. God, that was so awesome. So I'm in March. Um, oh, March I got sick. March I got COVID. Still in the gym. Yep. So I'll be honest with you. The finger thing sucked. And it came from, like I said, nicotine and tobacco, and just uh, blood sugar's high again. Guess I should have made all them gravy and biscuits. Um, so nicotine and tobacco are vasoconstrictors. So basically, they build up a bunch of plaque in your veins, so that it's hard for your blood flow to continue to run through your body. Now, that being said, that's where like heart attacks and things come from when it comes to normal people. Now, that also being said, I'm not normal. So I already heal slow, and I already put myself in this situation from drinking and adding the nerve damage from that, even though now I was sober. to now working outside in the cold and never stopping that. I remember it was Halloween that year that I quit drinking. No, it was actually Halloween the year before because I ended up drinking that night to make myself warm. I was freezing. I hadn't drank all day. It was like the start of my trying to get sober journey lasted uh, probably a year, where I kept telling myself, well, I'm not going to drink for a couple days and da da da. That's when I realized I had a problem because it was so hard to do. And every time I stopped, I would get sick. So I kept drinking. Um, so it really just kind of, it took a toll on me. But yeah, finally I started. Looks like in March is when I cut my hair. So yeah, March haircut, check. Golden. Oh man, yeah, the finger thing was terrible. And then from then, I mean, the rest of my hands started feeling a little bit better. Um, when I quit nicotine and stuff back in January, my I ended up in the hospital. Um, my white blood cell count was in the 22, 23. So it was super high because I think it's supposed to be like 12 or 13. So it was super high, and I couldn't keep food down or whatever did stay down went right through me. Turns out, like, nicotine controls a lot in your gut, how you control food, how you do all that. And with me already having a hormonal disease and nerve damage, it definitely wasn't helping. When you quit all these things, you quit drinking, when you quit nicotine and tobacco, when I quit drinking, I literally became obsessed with Reese cups and cans of Pepsi. I was like, I lived on cans of Pepsi and Reese cups. It's not good for you. It's terrible for you. Also, in March, no, I think it was January. It looks like we're getting there. So yeah, it was down in January. Um, is when I got on my insulin pump, which that definitely helped out being on my insulin pump. I'm on the T Slim with the Dexcom. It's a pair, so and it definitely helped as far as controlling my blood sugar and things like that. It was tremendous gains when it comes to. I think my last A1C, uh, even like to this year, so 3 years later, when I got it checked was like 5.6 or 5.7, which is awesome. But I do spend a lot of time in the gym and things like that. Very into self care, wellness, trying to make myself be a better person. Clearly, why I'm doing this podcast and being vulnerable with you guys. So that's definitely something that means a lot to me. So just a little recap. We got quit drinking. Christmas was awesome. Um, I mean, looking back now, there's again kind of back on the old friends thing that I'm posting with this. I messed up a lot of stuff even after drinking, just because it's how I thought things are supposed to be, or that's how a lot of it. That was kind of one of those things that I feel like I might have messed up. But great year with that. Got on my insulin pump and quit nicotine and tobacco in January. Got sick, got over that. Got my finger amputated. Um, finger amputated. I mean, just lots of stuff. Finally cut my hair in March. So good stuff. Cage cheer competition. Just so many different things. So really, really liked that holiday season. That was a good one for me. And right after that's when I got a lot heavier into the gym. Just started kind of pushing myself. And also right after that is kind of when me and the girl that I was with broke up, which was another hard time for me to. And I wouldn't even say we broke up because we carried it on for way too long. But I moved out of her house, which again was probably something that I should not have done. Back then is when I should have started doing what I'm doing now. But we can't look at stuff like that. You can't, no matter who you are, no matter what you got going on, you can't judge yourself from the things you did in the past. You can only learn from them. The book I'm reading right now, The Gap in the Game, by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. It literally talks about measuring backwards. So it's not about changing, or I mean, it's not about dwelling on your past or anything like that. It's literally about learning how to change your past, learning how to work with what you have, and be better. So, so that's kind of where we're going to go with this next segment. So the next segment, we're going to start talking about how hard it was, how much I wanted to start drinking again after her and I split up, how we kind of tried to keep things going. But honestly, we broke up probably the day I moved out, is what it seems like. I mean, things went downhill from there. Family started acting silly about stuff. Me and her never really got along again, like we should have. Things just took a turn for the worst. And through that entire time, we're going to talk about something else that I started going through that is almost just as bad as drinking. And that's going to carry us for a little while, because I literally just stopped a couple months ago. And it's not weed, it's not anything else, just something that I did to cope and to put myself in this position that I'm in. And that's kind of where I'm on my way out now. So if you guys don't think that you can do it, trust me, you can. And if you don't think I have any experience in going through hard times and doing things when it comes to addictions, you're about to find out that it's not easy for any of us. It doesn't matter what the addiction is, doesn't matter what you have going on. Everybody goes through different things at different times, and this is no different. So that'll be starting the next episode. I enjoyed talking to you guys through this, explaining some of these things. I hope that maybe it helped you guys out a little bit as far as journeys that you want to take in your own life and changing. I mean, smoking is bad. Like, stop smoking vapes. I don't care. Like, it's so bad for you. It's not a governed source of nicotine. So you're literally just pumping all these different chemicals into your body, and it's so bad for you. Stop. Don't, if you can help it, be as humble as possible from day one. Don't take advantage of people. And if you don't think that you can move forward with something, then don't do it, or don't make promises. Don't be that person. Trust me, it's not worth it. Because then you look back years from now and you're like, I sucked. I was a shitty person. I'm still thinking about the post that my buddy sent me, or the message my buddy sent me from, I mean, fuck, him and I haven't hung out in, like I said, 20 years. And I still cannot get that message off my mind. It's been almost 24 hours. So yeah, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. What you should do to yourself is go to my website. That's wise, W-I-S-E, Zen, Z-E-N, dragon.com. When you get there, go and sign up for my blog, my newsletter, check out digital products, follow me on all social media. That way you can see more things like this. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. The video version's on YouTube. Looking to upload them a couple times a week, blog posts a couple times a week. And then I also offer a coaching program. So whether it's fitness and health, whether it's your gym routine, your diet, whether you just need someone to talk to that has a decent head on their shoulders and is going to motivate you and hold you accountable, anything, sign up right now for the rest of the year. And probably something that I'm thinking about implementing is your first month is always going to be free. So you sign up for the coaching program, we talk, we move through this. If you want to continue on with it, then there's a monthly fee. If you don't, no harm, no foul. So message me for any info you have on that, if something you're interested in, and we can go from there. I haven't changed anything on the website yet as far as pricing and stuff, so just message me if it's something you're interested in, and look for the next podcast. I look forward to talking to all you guys. I'm going to hop off here, and hope everyone has a great day. Bye.